In this video, we're gonna show you how to take these old fence planks and turn it into raised garden bed. All right, so we got these old planks. They're pretty old, dried out, rotten on the tops and bottoms, green, gray. They look terrible, but what we're gonna do is make them look really good. So instead of popping out all the nails because they'll start to crack the boards, we're gonna cut them. If you see all these nails, we're gonna cut right on the inside of the nails. Now all you have left is the top of the planks, which are no good, the middle, which doesn't really matter, and then the bottom, which you can tell is super rotted out. You don't really need any of this unless you're truly trying to save the 2x4s, but then you'd have to go and get all of these nails out. That's up to you to decide. I'm not doing that. So here's the extremely satisfying part. We now have, within a matter of seconds, a massive pile over here of these old boards, all gray, nasty, kind of rotted out, not looking good. Let's make them look good. Go ahead and get your board and then stick it down on the bottom. Go ahead and raise it up until your board can go underneath. Now it can fit underneath with just a little bit where it stops, and that's good for the first pass. We're gonna turn it on, send them all through, and then we're gonna lower it a little bit, send them through, lower it a little bit, send them through. We're gonna get them all the same thickness, and it's gonna look brand new again. So this is a crazy thing. This board came out really, really good. It was one of the better boards, and with one pass, that sucker looks almost brand new. You can tell it's a little gray on the outside, but that looks really good. But for all the other ones, you guys could tell still gray, and then it looks a little bit better. So all of these are the exact same thickness. So we're gonna flip them, do this side, and it'll still keep them all the same width. All right, so this is getting down to the thickness we want. Some of these have a little bit of gray. So we're gonna find the good side and keep it down, and we're gonna go ahead and just get rid of anything on the one side that doesn't look as good, and then I think we're done with this. As a perfect example, you can tell this looks 100% brand new. This one looks pretty good, not bad at all. And then this one you could tell is a little bit of some problems, but you can get pretty good product out of it. If you don't have a planer, you can sand. It's just gonna take a long time. Been there, done that. It's worth the investment. Now that we got all our boards, we want to cut to where it's slightly under a foot. It doesn't have to be exact as long as they're all the same. So what I'm going to do is I went ahead and screwed two boards together, and I'm going to place it here and screw it down. That way our boards will butt up to this and stop, and they'll be the exact same length every time. You do know at the beginning of the video when I just cut them all off, none of these cuts are going to be very straight. So go ahead and hit a good line at the end of it. Now you have a good straight cut. Now go all the way to the end of your board, make a cut. this one off, slide it all the way down, make another cut. I got 2 boards that are literally the exact same length, same width and everything, and it looks really good. Now if you want to go even faster, stack up a couple of them, line them up the best you can, push them against your rail, cut it clean. Clean that off, keep them together, slide it all the way to the end. Now you just did 4 boards at one time, slide them down, do it again. Now it's just rinse and repeat until you're done. So as you guys can tell, one of those fence planks made about 50 of these little planks. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take these 2x4s. Yes, they're untreated. We'll talk about that in a little while, but we're gonna split them right down the middle. So what you wanna do is, it's 3.5 and you're gonna mark at 1 3/4. Then you're gonna turn it over, mark at 1 3/4 again. That mark right there, and that's exactly where you want your blade to fit in between, and that's gonna be a perfect cut right down the middle. Again, you got your mark right there. Go ahead and just mark it on the end of the board, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna put that mark right where your blade is, and then you're gonna move your guard over until it touches the board, and then lock it down. Now just take your 8-foot boards and then rip them down the middle. But guys, if you haven't checked out our chicken coop video, that sucker's nice. Now that you got your board split, we're gonna take one of the boards that you split and we're gonna cut it down to 2 foot. This step, we're gonna take our boards that we ripped and we're gonna make sure we keep the beveled side up. That way we remember which side is the top and bottom of our 2x4s. And we put our dado blade in here, which is technically like 2 blades, and then you can also add filler blades and washers to make it thicker so we can cut a good groove. If you don't understand, we'll show you here in just a second. So you guys can tell what we're going for now. We have the groove all the way through, and then you're gonna have your plank. This is just a broken piece of one, and it'll go all the way down. You can kind of hammer it in, and then you're gonna have the other one, and it'll go in like that, and we're gonna put them all together. So for now, let's go ahead and rip all the other boards, and then we'll jump into that. So on just one side, go ahead and start putting your planks in the grooves and start at the very end. If they don't go all the way down to the very bottom, that's okay. And then try to stick all of these in those grooves on one side and work your way down. As long as you get one side in, that's fine. Go ahead and get a clamp. And then don't over tighten it, just enough to where it'll hold it from coming out. Kind of get it in line if you can. And then grab your other clamp, put it on the end here, and then now whenever you tighten it just a little bit, it'll hold it in. We'll start to make sure all the boards go in the grooves. There we go. I think you guys might be able to see it right here. You guys can tell it's all the way there and almost here. At this point, I'm gonna take off the clamps. I'm gonna go ahead and get my square, and we're gonna try our best to kind of square it up a little bit. And all we're gonna do is hold one side, kind of tap the other, or pick it up, and then on a flat surface, you'll be able to get it pretty close. Pretty close. Now go ahead and throw the clamps back in there. Tighten it up to where the boards will go all the way to the end. And then now you can take these clamps off if you want. So they're pushed all the way in. You want to make sure it's square to the one side where it goes all the way to the end. That's really good. Got this one done, set it to the side. Exact same thing on a larger scale. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take part of your piece that you have the dado slit through it, and you're gonna fill it with glue, and then we're gonna slide it on this end right here. Then all you gotta do is just trim the excess off right here, and it should be good to go. All right guys, you can tell over here we got our other panels drying up. So for now, what we're trying to do is attach these together so it'll be squared up. I ended up cutting some blocks that fit this exact length. So we're gonna put it just enough to where we can screw in here and through the back. All right guys, got it finished up.
I love this.
It became a little bit of a pain in the butt, but we got it. Going from those fence planks to this, I don't think you'd ever know.
No, it looks amazing. Again, I love this.
Yeah, so we might end up using it for raised garden bed, flower pots. We might put it over by the camper.
I say we make a bunch and we just, you know how pretty that would look?
All around the whole deck.
Yeah, and you just have flowers.
Oh, that's a lot of work, I don't know. But guys, if you liked it, we just wanted to show you that you could take old fence planks for free or crazy cheap. You can get them fairly cheap and then turn it into this. And then we used a couple of 2x4s. But the big question is, why in the world did you do non-treated lumber? So the Crocker knowledge behind all this of the non-treated is, if you do treated, you're gonna put chemicals in your food. If you're just doing flowers and whatnot, cool. But that's why we stained it, and then we might even clear coat it, make it nice and shiny. And then on the inside, we only stained the top boards so you're not getting chemicals down in there. And then also to make it last longer, we might line the inside of it with plastic and leave the bottom down to the normal earth, or if we end up doing it on the deck or whatever, line the whole thing in plastic, and I think it'll end up lasting a really long time.
Yeah.
They're old fence planks that have been up for years. You can take stuff that does not look good to most people and turn it into something good and useful. They were probably just going to burn those panels.
Yeah.
Just have to burn them and get rid of them. So
What a waste.
yeah,
It would have been.
what a waste this would have been. So hopefully you guys like it. If you did like it, go check out our chicken coop build, our water well build. We're building a barn. We're turning a grain silo into a tiny house.
We're building a homestead.
We're building our lives together.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we'll catch you in the next one.